What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode number 7, Sit Down with Sid podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. He is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing and Branding at Jindal Steel and Power Limited. Jindal Steel and Power is one of the India's fastest growing and largest integrated steel manufacturers, significantly present in the steel, power, mining, and infrastructure segment. Our guest has over 23 years of leadership experience in retail sales and marketing across various industries ranging from consumer durables, advertising, oil, steel, and cement. He is the winner of Chief Marketing Officer of the Year Award 2021 and the Outstanding Sales Leader of the Year Award by Inventicon. Our guest currently resides in Gurgaon, which is a city bordering New Delhi, India. For those of you who don't know, the city is India's second largest information technology and third largest financial and banking hub. Without any further ado, let's welcome our guest, Mr. Rohit Lamba. How are you, sir? How are you doing?
Thank you very much, indeed, Siddharth, for this lovely introduction. It's great to be part of this show. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I really feel truly humbled. Uh, I would also like to extend my gratitude for extending me this opportunity to have a long discussion with you on the points which you highlighted earlier. Thank you for having me once again. I truly feel privileged.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The feeling is same. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself, family background, etc., where you were born, if you want to take it from here?
Yeah. So I come from a very average family. We are a set of 4 brothers sisters. I was the youngest of all. And being the youngest, I also ended up getting pampered a lot. That comes in the whole package. We come from very, very humble beginnings. My father initially was part of the Indian Defense Services. Later on, he took a VRS and he picked up a private job. That was for me to see him in the early days. Uh, Developing skill sets of a new job was altogether a different experience. But I think as, as our parents, they developed strongly enriched cultural values and ethics in us. I think for this, I really feel extremely thankful for the kind of valuable teachings they taught us in early part of our life. That has, I believe, really shaped up all the character building of our siblings. Can't thank them enough.
Wow, that's awesome. So let me ask you, I mean, I have gone through your, years of experience in professional industry and it's impeccable, So my question is, how did you get into sales and was there any story or inspiration behind going into this field,
Well, I think to my mind, sales is a very result-oriented, uh, coupled with reward recognition career. For me to, I really actually, quite honestly, didn't really plan to be in sales. It just happened naturally. When I did my MBA, I realized that though I have more intelligence or finance aspect, my instincts prompted me something else. They prompted me that I'm more sales oriented. I had better ability to connect with people, to interact with people from different backgrounds. That was something which inherently I found was a key turning point where I felt that I could really add value and pick up this as a career choice. So that's, and there you are. I mean, 20 years fast forward, here I am.
Well, do you love what you do? That's I know it's a very simple question, but I think it's important for people to know. The reason I'm asking this question is because I'm also into sales, and sales is not for everyone. You got to have a thick skin to be in sales. So do you enjoy it? Do you love it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's completely performance oriented. So in sales, what you do uh, emerges as results. And that measurement metric is very, very good. It really drives you to excel, do better. And when I say do better, I mean better than before. So uh, that is one key characteristics of the entire uh, play field, which I really enjoy.
Excellent. Uh, so how long have you been with Jindal Steel and Power?
I have now been with them for over 4 years. Uh, uh, my learning curve has been extremely priceless. Uh, whatever I've learned in the last 4.5 years uh, is something which I really believe uh, is a wide expanse of knowledge bank, and I really feel that I'm extremely lucky and fortunate to get this opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's one of the largest steel industry across Asia. Jindal Steel.
Jindal Steel today is the seventh largest producer of steel in the whole world. We are India's largest steel manufacturing company. We also happen to be India's largest exporter of steel. Uh, we also happen to have a wide range of products in our portfolio. All of these are the key traits of Jindal Steel. We are part of $35 billion steel conglomerate, OP Jindal Group.
Uh, uh, so let me ask you now. You know, us growing up, we always have a role model, right? It changes with time to time, but there is always one who you want to be like. You want to learn from them. You want to become like them. Who is that person in your life, and why?
Well, my role model is, in no uncertain terms, my father. Uh, he taught me two key lessons. One was that there's no shortcut to hard work, and he exemplified it. Uh, I saw him to close proximity, the kind of hard work he did to bring up his family, and he was always willing to learn new things. He was the first innovator I saw myself, I witnessed ever, who would always believe in overcoming a challenging situation of work and delivering results. And the second most important thing he taught me was perseverance, uh, patience. I think that was something which really changed me as a person. The early lessons one learns in life always stays with the person throughout his life. These are the two key attributes which I believe has had some immense contribution in shaping up my life. Later on, uh, as I started working in corporates, I had a brother-in-law who was also working as a global president of Hero Corporation. Uh, taught me real life lessons. They presented real life case studies. That was, I think, invigorating as a professional. I imbibed those learnings in me. Uh, so, yeah, that's how it is.
Very good to know this. Uh, what do you think are the qualities and traits that makes one successful at sales? Uh, I'm just trying to divert some questions now to more like, uh, I'm sure, everyone thinks sales is easy, it's attractive. As you mentioned, it's reward basing and it's mostly incentive based. So, so with your knowledge, experience, and being one of the outstanding sales leader of the year award uh, person, what do you think are the qualities that makes one successful in this industry?
Well, I think largely there are about eight qualities I can think of. And when I say eight, I have practiced them and I still do even today. I think the first most important is to be a keen listener. I think when you listen, uh, you learn a lot. You learn about everything, be it your business discussion or even if, be it any personal discussion. But largely, if I see as a business leader, listening is a great capability. Uh, I would really, in the pecking order, I'd always keep it as number one. Number two, I think enthusiasm is very, very important. Enthusiasm about the project you are doing, enthusiasm about the methodology you are adopting, enthusiasm about your needs. So I would rate again enthusiasm is very, very important aspect. Uh, Empathy is one of the key traits. Uh, when you empathize with your customer, you get into his shoes. You understand his pain points. You understand his desperation. You understand his needs. All of that really transcends you to uh, think about solutions which can bring radical difference to the customer needs. Fourth, I would think hunger, hunger to grow, hunger to do new things, hunger to innovate, hunger to challenge yourself every day, hunger to do better results. Uh, that's again very, very important. Uh, in a fiercely competitive environment, I think competitiveness is something which is a very, very key trait. Now, your ability to outsmart the competition, uh, generating enough MIS, which could help you make not only speedy, steady, fast decision, but also the right decisions. Um, I could also think of resiliency. Sales is not about always great results. We tend to battle many challenging situations at work, and there are things which are under one's control. There are things which are not under one's control. So how do you surmount those challenges and come out as a winner is very, very important. And for that, I think to be resilient is most important. Uh, we may get success, we may fail, but learning lessons from failure is the most important aspect, I believe. And last but not the least, I think to do some value creation. Do some value creation for yourself, do some value creation for the product line you're selling, do some value creation for your stakeholders, um, make it all encompassing. To my mind, I think these 8 traits are extremely crucial.
Excellent. I also want to share a couple of mine that I think should be considered or one must have. One is the passion for people. So this is coming from my personal experience, personal as well as professional. You have to have the passion to help people, you know. As I mentioned before, you have to have a thick skin, you know. Being in sales, you constantly listen to no's, 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 no's. But I always believe this from day one, after every 1,000 no's, there is one yes. And that one yes can change your life. You know, it's as you mentioned, the resilience, you know, to go through those 1,000 no's. Do you have it? You know, last but not the least, I have a system which I call the 4 O's, you know, in sales: outperform, outlast, outshine, and outgo. So, you know, sales is a very competitive industry. So I just feel that one can always excel by being on top of the game, you know, technology, marketing trends, you know, as you mentioned, value of the product, value of the service. So these were some of the points. I wanted to add onto what you mentioned. And I think it should be a staple of someone who wants to become good at sales. This is our belief coming from our personal as well as professional experience.
Absolutely.
So,
couldn't agree more with you.
Yeah. So let me ask you now, in these tough competitive times, and also with the pandemic going on, I know the morale of people kind of has gone down, right? So being at such a high executive position as yourself, how do you keep them motivated? Can you name some of the best practices that you personally adopt to keep your team stay on top of the game?
As a leader, I try to mentor better. Every day I want to become a better mentor.
Mm-hmm.
I want to coach people better. I always strive to connect with them intrinsically. And whenever we have team meetings, the most important aspect of the team meetings is to connect and then calendarize solutions. Now, there could be 4 solutions or 5 solutions or 7 solutions in the entire mix of things. But identifying the problem and handle one situation at a time. That one thing, what do you do which can get all other things irrelevant at that given point in time is what is crucial. So there may be multiple tasks at hand, but to choose one amongst them at that given point in time, that would radically eradicate all of the things which will not be required to do that point in time is something really delivers results. My general understanding is that one should not really try to boil the ocean. It's good to take one step at a time. Pick up one problem, try to resolve it, and so goes on the caravan. That's what I believe. So yeah, to answer that, I think coaching them better, be a better mentor is what I really look at.
So do you have certain sets of practices or certain criteria that you follow with your team, or like a standard set or something?
Well, there's no standard operating procedure for mentoring or coaching. The problems come of a very unique character every time. Whatever challenges you face at work may not be identical at most times. They would be different in nature. They would surprise you. Many of the problems and challenges which come are probably first timers. You've never really witnessed it before. So I think largely to understand the entire perspective, align our thought process with the goals of the organization, and then developing a solution is the play.
Right, is the way to go. So I have this question that I want to ask you. I always ask this question to myself as well. What do you think is the difference between marketing and selling, in your own opinion?
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant question. To my mind, selling transcends a product into money, in plain and simple terms. So when you sell, you get money. But marketing is something which is everlasting. It helps you develop the thought process of what the customer really needs, what could be the right price point, what could be the right promotion strategy, and how we bring customer centricity in order to satisfy customer needs is what marketing is all about. So I would look at it in this fashion.
So I have a belief, and I want to ask for your feedback. What do you think? So I always say this, I feel marketing is selling. The reason I'm saying is, so when we are marketing something, right, we are selling customers ideas. We are selling customers services. We are selling customers products. At the end of the day, marketing and selling will both bring revenue to the company. So I just feel they're like two parallel lines, like a train track that kind of meet right like this in the end. Two lines, instead of going like this, they kind of meet at a point. So what do you think about?
Yeah,
like
I think you very, very aptly mentioned that. I look at them as parallel rail tracks. So, you see the train only runs on two tracks, which are parallel to each other. So my personal view is that marketing and selling are just like parallel rail tracks. They run with each other. They run along with each other. And yet there is nowhere where they actually merge. Each of them complements the other. That's the way I look at it.
Wow. So let me ask you this. So when you wake up every morning, what drives you to go to work? What motivates you? You know what, today I want to go to the office. I have these goals. I want to accomplish them. What is that thing? What's that motivating factor for yourself?
I think the single largest being to become better than before, to excel in whatever I do. How can I better my performance? How can I be a better human being? How can I be a better business leader? Is something which really motivates me. It really pushes me to the hilt to reinvent myself, uh, to unlearn and learn, and expand my knowledge bank, to innovate, to look at things differently, to accept contrarian views, think logically. All of this really helps me motivate myself and pushes me to jump out of bed and kickstart my day.
I think it's a very good point you brought it up, because once again, I think when the morale of people are low, and when they watch someone like yourself successful and having such ambitious traits, I think this must inspire them. This should inspire them. And yeah, absolutely, I'm truly inspired by your work ethic. I have utmost respect for what you do. So what does success mean to you? I know it's a very, very generic, broad question, but what's the definition of success for yourself?
I think the way I look at it, success is possibly a situation where you start giving back to the society. I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's a very relative subject. For someone, success could be to become a billionaire. So for someone, success could be to scale Mount Everest. For someone, success could be swimming through the English Channel. I believe on my personal note, I think success, the best form of success is when you start giving back to the society and help bring a radical change, bring a change that would better lives of people, bring a change which makes our Mother Earth a better place to live in. I would rate success that way.
So that being said, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself right now in the next 3 to 5 years, based on your principles, your ethics? Where do you see yourself?
I think first, to become a better mentor. That is something I can. I've been really trying to do. Second could be to build stronger connection, to build a strong connection with people who I know, to connect with them at the emotional level, as well as on a business level. And to develop an ability to be adaptable in the changing landscape. I would also consider it as a goal because business is changing, technology is changing, nothing around us is constant anymore. So in this entire change mechanism, if you could be, other than being a change agent, also become someone who can add value is very, very, I think it's, I would really take it as my goal. And of course, do enough research and diversify my knowledge is what these four goals are really do.
Excellent goal.
In terms of
so based in your 20 years of experience, if I wanted to ask you, could you tell me one of the biggest challenges and how did you overcome in your sales career?
So I spent about 16 years in media.
Okay.
And there was a time when I realized that I needed to reinvent myself. I needed to change my gears. I needed to learn more. As you say, you know, my yearning for learning was increasing by each passing day. That was the time, but I was also scared of you know, getting into industry, which is not only world's second largest industry after oil and gas, but also to excel in the new environment. That initially came as a threat and a challenge. But I believe, you know, I'd like to extend my honest gratitude to my team who's worked relentlessly, very, very hard with me. We've worked tirelessly. And I think we've achieved quite a bit of success, even during pandemic, the global pandemic, when the companies were shutting down and cutting costs and going through an unprecedented phase. We as an organization turn around the tables and turn the balance sheets like never before. So I also believe that with every crisis comes an opportunity, and having to live with this moment was, I believe, a learning for a lifetime.
Very interesting. So my last question, I know you're short on time here. For the upcoming salespeople who are watching this podcast, or for any professionals who are upcoming in their career and want to excel, what is your message to them?
Love what you do what you love. As simple as that.
That's why they say, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
Well, Mr. Rohit, this has been just an honor for me. I personally, I learned a lot from you. I actually took down some notes as well, especially of the qualities of the sales people, as you mentioned. Thanks for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your love for what you do, telling us about yourself. And, you know, I'm just very grateful I appreciate you for taking the time. I know it's late there and coming on this podcast. So personally, it means a lot to me. And I'm just humbled and honestly very grateful, that I had this opportunity to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Sid. I feel extremely privileged when you invited me uh, on your podcast. I really felt initially that I really don't deserve to be in this platform, but I believe it's a matter of great honor and pride for me to be part of your show. You're doing some amazing piece of work, and I watch you very, very closely. Uh, you built a very, very strong legacy already. So I believe uh, knowledge seeking is also knowledge sharing. I've always believed in this theory. And with you, it's absolutely the same. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for inviting me on your show. I can't thank you enough for this privilege you've extended.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Uh, Stay tuned for more episodes. Once again, our guest, Mr. Rohit Lamba, and myself, Sid. Have a good night, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.